Czech Benoni. Let's do it, Son of Sorrow style. What if, when we get here, they decide to take? Because this is a knee-jerk reaction played by many players, but black already has the better of it in the database, and we need to understand why. So, there's a few different lines here. Let's first start with knight c3. Now, d5 is a playable move across all these variations, but some players don't like the open nature of it. So, I kept in mind that many of our offlines have a Sicilian flavor, and that's very intentional. We like the Sicilian. So, I want you to try to see a Sicilian structure evolve. If you imagine the f-pawn was still there, you'll see it. So, knight c6, and when in doubt, hedgehog it out. All of our pieces are going to those nice Sicilian squares, and there we go with d6. The e-pawn is not a weakness. Takes. And we're looking at b6, bishop b7 in some lines now. That knight is gone. After e3, no worries. We have a good square there. And black's getting great play here with b5. And that's where I would end the opening, but I'll quickly go through the rest of the moves of the game. Kicks the knight back, continues to get space. Beautiful pawn mass. This pawn phalanx is just marching onward. And the pawns, they're rollers. So he blockades it, but counterplay, it's very real here. Black's king quickly gets to an amazing square. Black is definitely much better. You can't stop progress in this position by black. Everything's held on to. Now we're going to focus on that weakness. Gotta love that. That's just an bam! Bone in the throat, like popped you. Knockout. Nice move. Rook takes b2, king takes d4, and the pawns move onward. GG. So that was knight c3. Let's go to a secondary variation again with bishop g5. And again, same ideas. I'm going for the Sicilian hedgehog type structure. Solid, effective, but the old switcheroo. Going long and looking to play some h6, g5 and press on the king side over here. We're having a good time in this type of position. So now let's go to the main line. The main line is the only one to where if you play d6, it's not going to work out for you. He's going to have too much control over critical squares, so that's why we need to play, as soon as he goes bishop g2, d5, grab, and I've got two different lines here for you. So let's say if they play a move like knight c3, this should be a major memory marker that anytime they're doing this and we can kick, we want to kick. And then, do we want to take and put his bishop there, or do we want to leave it? The answer is leave it. Make a move to get time. If he's going to take, let him improve our bishop and we get an extra move in there. Bishop e6, easy enough. Covering key squares. It's an open position that's beautiful. After takes, we got the bishop pair. We do have that double pawn, but it shouldn't be too hard to get rid of with a move like c4. I think we're having a good time here, and the engine says black's just a touch better. So coming back, what about knight h3? Again, simple. He's tickling the d-pawn, so no more tickling. Support. I'm not worried about knight e6. I'll just take it. I'm going to take on f4 unless you do something. Getting the open file, hitting the e2 pawn. We're worried about b7, so holding that first. No more threats. And I really like this next part. Knight e4, and it says, if you want it, you can have it. You want the c pawn. He grabs it, and he ends up getting the worst of this position, a pawn up. Black has excellent coordination, and white is not developed at all. And after b6, rook takes e2, black is already comfortably better. So, major takeaways of this line quickly. when we see d takes e6, it's going to be okay to play d5 and pretty much all the variations. It's only with g3, from what I found, that you have to play d5. With all the other lines, it's optional. I personally like the hedgehog structures. That's why I showed them to you. That's that for the early d takes e6.